Welcome back to Talking Elvis. 6 months ago when I did the Elvis's Back Sessions video, it was always my intention to cover all the FTD session releases. I subsequently did Herum Scarum and Fun in Acapulco. It's been a while since that last video, so I want to do another one today. This is the one that's probably the most difficult, and the reason is because it is just so good. Music wise, I have a really nice original UK copy of the album. It's a beautiful looking cover and I love the old cardboard smell. It's on the RCA black label with the silver dot logo. I have the 2-disc FTD of His Hand in Mine, and I have the 3-disc FTD of His Hand in Mine Sessions. While I have always known that gospel music was really important to Elvis and something he really loved, it wasn't until the Searcher came out that I started to put all the dots together. 1960 can be seen as a very successful year. He gets out of the army, he's very successful with all the music releases. But there was a lot of disappointment for Elvis. GI Blues was a bit of a parody as far as he was concerned about his army life. There was a lot of problems at the recording session. They just couldn't get it to sound right, and Elvis was not comfortable in the surroundings. And Elvis's current movie, which he was filming at the time, it was decided that this session was going to go ahead, was Flaming Star. That also had difficulties. There was a bit of a fight between Elvis in the studio with regards to songs that were included in the movie. Elvis thought it was going to be a bit more dramatic. It was, in fact, Marlon Brando who was first suggested as the lead actor. On top of that, Elvis was complaining a lot about the sound of the singles that were being released. He complained about It's Now or Never not sounding the same as it did on the demo that he had. Both RCA and the Colonel put it down to Elvis's record player. The problem came up again after Elvis heard the final master of Are You Lonesome Tonight. He complained that his voice had been brought forward too much to the detriment of the backing singers. He threatened to go back in the studio and record it again if RCA could not get it right. On the 3rd of July, Vernon married Dee Stanley. Elvis did not attend the wedding. Whenever things were challenging in his life, Elvis would turn to gospel music. He did it in 1966 when his music really was at an all-time low, and he did it again after the breakdown of his marriage. When the subject came up, Colonel loved the idea. He thought it was great to follow up on the success of Elvis's 1957 gospel recordings, and it was also a nice way to reinforce Elvis as the family entertainer. The new image that the Colonel imagined after Elvis's army release. The filming of Flaming Star finished on the 7th of October. Elvis spends the weekend in Las Vegas and then takes the road trip back to Memphis. He was going to have 1 month off before returning back to Hollywood to film Wild in the Country. Before that, at the end of October, he was scheduled to be back at Studio B to record his gospel album and also a new single for RCA. On Sunday, the 16th of October, Elvis breaks his little finger while playing touch football. On Saturday, the 29th, Freddie Beanstalk from RCA arrives to meet with Elvis, and they talk about the songs which he wants to record. There was a loose list already, which had been discussed on the 25th of August. But the more he thought about it, the more songs he was considering and wanting to add. Titles such as I'll Meet You in the Morning, When You Travel All Alone, and even You'll Never Walk Alone. There were old spiritual songs which Elvis grew up with. Who at My Door Is Standing and God's Gonna Cut You Down, but some did make it, such as Joshua Fit the Battle. Once again, Elvis would leave Graceland on a chartered Greyhound bus, which had been organised by Colonel. On the 30th of October, he arrives at Studio B wearing black trousers, a shiny yellow shirt, and a sailor's cap. This is a cool, rare photograph from inside the studio, where you can see he's wearing his white shoes as well. In just one night, Elvis records 14 songs. One is Surrender, which would be released as a single, and Crying in the Chapel, which wouldn't be released until Easter 1965. While originally planned for the album, it was kept off. His Hand in Mine has 12 songs on it, 6 on each side. From 6:30 p.m. until 9:30 p.m, he records 3 songs: Milky White Way, His Hand in Mine, and I Believe in the Man in the Sky. There is a 30-minute break. At 10 p.m. until 1 a.m, he records He Knows What I Need, Surrender, and Mansion Over the Hilltop. There is another 30-minute break at 1:30 in the morning. He's back at the microphone and he records In My Father's House, Joshua Fit the Battle, Swing Down Sweet Chariot, and I'm Going to Walk Them Golden Stairs. That takes him to 4:30 in the morning, when there is another 30-minute break. At 5 a.m, he sings If We Never Meet Again, Known Only to Him, Crying in the Chapel, and Working on the Building. By 8 a.m, it's finished. Again, an incredible amount of songs to get down as masters in such a short space of time. Scotty Moore and Hank Garland are on the guitar, Bob Moore is on the bass, Boots Randolph is there on saxophone, DJ Fontana on drums, Floyd Kramer on the piano, the Jordanaires, Millie Kirkham, and Charlie Hodge is there also for harmony vocals. While the first song recorded at the session was Milky White Way, I'm going to go in the running order of the original album, which starts with the title track, His Hand in Mine. The song was written by Mosey Lister. It's somebody Elvis would have known well. He was a member of the Statesman Quartet. He was the pianist, but also the lead songwriter. Elvis would also record another one of his songs, He Knows What I Need. We can hear Elvis's warm vibrato and perfect diction. It's a mid-tempo song, and while he might sing it like a pop ballad, he does it with gospel intent. He means every single word he is singing. Elvis's gospel work is revered by almost everybody. I don't think anybody doesn't like it.
You may ask me how I know my Lord is real. My Lord is real. You may doubt the things I say and doubt the way I feel.
This song, among others on the album, is sang with so much sincerity. There are 5 takes of the song, and the master is a splice between take number 4 and take number 5.
I'm gonna walk them golden stairs, 'cause I know my Jesus answers all my prayers. Well, I know when he calls me to my home on high, I'll walk them golden stairs when I die.
Take 1 there of I'm Going to Walk Them Golden Stairs. On this song, we're on a journey to heaven, right? It's an upbeat spiritual song, but Elvis never belts anything out, and he sings with a real lighter tone. This probably goes right back to Tupelo this was in Elvis's DNA. And over the years, it would have been a song that was passed from singer to singer and church to church. Again, there are 5 takes, but take number 1 is the master. It would be really fascinating to see how he was moving when singing the song, because he sings the song with movement. In My Father's House is next, and after the piano opening from Floyd Craber, there's a noise. I've always been slightly intrigued as to why that noise remained or why they didn't do it again. It was based on a section of the Bible and is pretty much a devotional hymn. And Elvis sings it just like that. It's one of the highlights on the album vocally. And the way Elvis sings it, it almost makes you feel at home.
In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not true, he would have told me so.
He never tries to show off or do anything fancy vocally here. It's just sang straight with so much sincerity. It's smooth, and he sings it as though he's at a place of belonging. Milky White Way is next, arranged and adapted by Elvis Presley. That's the writer's credit on the song, which means it was an old spiritual song, which means it does not have a known specific composer. He's feeling every bit of it, no question. The session opened with Milky White Way. It's the 4th song on the album. It's a highlight.
Yes, I'm gonna walk, oh, that milky white way, oh Lord, some of these days. Well, I'm gonna walk that milky white way, some of these days, well, 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 well.
Known only to him is a song where if I'm playing it or if it comes on, if I'm driving or something, it does knock me back. It's so beautifully sung. And again, Elvis's diction, I fear not, how he always pronounces the T's.
I'll fear not the darkness when my flame shall dim. I know not what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. It's a secret known only to him.
It's just perfection. And he's singing it exactly where I love him to sing. For me, this style of Elvis singing is my absolute favorite, and I just find it completely faultless. It's a really emotional, raw gospel song. And it's about unseen suffering, which only God can see. I feel Elvis pours everything into this. Emotional loneliness behind the fame, perhaps. Honestly, this is one of Elvis's most sincere performances. There are 10 takes. The master is take 10. Side 1 finishes with I Believe in the Man in the Sky, which was the flip side of Crying in the Chapel single. It starts with the piano and then the Jordanaires. And I don't find this bit particularly inspiring or exciting, and I could actually doze off. But then Elvis's vocal comes in and I immediately wake up, and then you start bobbing along.
I believe in the man in the sky.
It's the vocal that makes it. What can I say? As I said at the start, it's not possible to find anything wrong vocally on these performances. 4 takes, take 4 is the master. And as I said, it would appear later as well as on a single as the B-side of Crying in the Chapel. Another one that dates way, way back and is arranged and adapted by Elvis Presley. I think this is probably the most structured song on the album. The harmonies, the way it ends. Elvis is singing lead, but it doesn't feel like he dominates. Talking before about how Elvis was complaining about his voice being pushed forward on records. This is probably something that RCA knew not to mess with. It sounds like a group of people all singing together. You can see why Elvis would have really have been into this song. And I would like to think that this is something everybody would sing at the church in Tupelo. 4 takes only. Take 4 is the master. That's the thing about these sessions, because Elvis knows the song so well, as does probably the Jordanaires. They maybe only had to run through it once or twice and then put down the takes to choose the master.
Down, 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 tumbling down.
The second song on side 2, He Knows Just What I Need, the other Mosey Lister song, which Elvis records at this session. It starts with Elvis's vocal, and you just have a warm feeling coming over you from the start. And when he does this,
He satisfies and every need supplies.
it honestly gives me chills.
He knows just what I need.
To Elvis, gospel music wasn't only about looking inside and gaining comfort, it was also about joy and release. And no song fits that better than Swing Down Sweet Chariot.
Why don't you swing down, sweet chariot, stop and let me ride. Swing down, chariot, stop and let me ride. Rock me, Lord, come and easy will. I got home on the other side.
He's really bright on this performance. You can almost feel him smiling. 4 takes again, take number 4 being the master. Mansion Over the Hilltop is next, and it was actually a song written during the Great Depression. This song always makes me stop and think about maybe what Elvis is thinking. I remember on very, very early visits to Graceland and speaking, I think it was with Charlie Hodge, they would refer to the house as being up on the hill. They would say we would be up on the hill. And it always stuck with me. So I always think about that every time I hear the song. I do wonder what he is thinking when he is singing this, because he does it with such conviction.
And someday yonder we will never more wander, but walk on streets that are pure as gold.
And again, it's that sweet spot, it's that range, which I've talked about before, from the throat and through his head. It's my absolute favourite period of Elvis's singing style. They get it down in only 3 takes. The master is a splice between take number 2 and take number 3. The next song is one of my all-time favourite Elvis songs, If We Never Meet Again. I don't know if I will even ever have a funeral, because I'm going to live forever or die trying. But if I was to play a song at a funeral, it would be this. It gets me every single time. It's one of these performances by Elvis that, quite frankly, can make me cry. I feel every single bit of this, the way that he sings it. It was written by Albert Burnley. Now, he's the guy that wrote the song I'll Fly Away, which we hear in This Is Elvis back in 1981, when a young Elvis is at church. The gentleness in Elvis's voice is so overwhelming, overpowering, so touching. It's like a song of acceptance and not of fear. I really, really love this. The only sad thing about this song is that there is only one take. Take number one is the master. I would love to sit and listen to 30 minutes of Elvis singing several takes of the song, but it appears they get it down on the first take. Working on the Building is the last song on the album. It would be my least favourite song on the album if I was to choose one, which really isn't fair to choose one because they are just all so good. But it's a great ending to the album because it's the sort of song that I can imagine them singing in church in Tupelo as people were starting to leave. It's a kind of end of church song. As the song goes on, there are parts that stand out. It's one of these songs that get better. Maybe it's just got a strange intro or something, but it's, maybe one of these songs that just kind of, you've got to persevere through it. But that's in no way any sort of criticism towards the song or how Elvis sings it. And he sounds younger. It's almost like a younger Elvis voice. His Hand in Mine was released in both mono and stereo, my UK album being in mono. It was released on the 23rd of November 1960. It gets to number 3 in the UK chart and number 13 in the US. The album His Hand in Mine was certified as platinum on the 27th of March 1992. I've used a lot of these Don Craven photographs which were taken on the 25th of August 1960. They were taken at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel while Elvis was in the middle of filming Flaming Star. And you see the little pin he's wearing. It's a karate pin. I just thought I would throw that out there. His Hand in Mine sessions are a beautiful piece of art and they're beautifully packaged. And I cannot highly recommend this enough. Is that right? Yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. It's a wonderful, wonderful album. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel.